The biggest issue that I encountered when I came out. Are you talking when I came out to myself or when I came out to my family? Those are two separate issues. For the longest time, I thought that I could be gay. That bothered me like you could not believe. Remember, I was born in the 50s, raised in the 60s. I was in high school in the 60s and graduated in the 70s. I had no role models. The only time you would see someone who was gay was 3 steps from wearing pantyhose, or they were made fun of, or they were ridiculed, or they were called the F word. I don't even like the word homosexual. To me, that's insulting. I prefer the word gay, but that's me. But the biggest issue that I had was admitting it to myself. I was raised in upstate New York. I came from a very Jewish family. They didn't handle stuff like this too well. There was a time when I was realizing, this is after college, before I moved to California and before I moved here to Florida, where I sort of knew I was gay, but I wasn't willing to confront it. I found out that there was a gay bar not too far from my hometown, and I went there. And I was there for 3 hours in the parking lot in my car. I couldn't get out. I didn't know what was going on in there. I didn't want to know what was going on in there. And it was like I was watching all these people going in and out and moving about, and I just stayed in my car. I wasn't willing to admit it to myself. It wasn't until I was traveling around the country for 5 years of my life, doing a one-man show all over the country, where I said, you know what? This is it. Let's do something about this. And I went out to my first official gay bar. It was in Texas, of all places. But I started admitting it to myself then. When I admitted it to my family, it wasn't until maybe 1984. I met someone who is now my husband. We'll be together this coming October, 34 years. But because of the Supreme Court, I don't know how long it'll last. We're married in December, 3 years. Got married at Disney World, actually. And I called my family, and about 3 weeks before I called them, I was in a motorcycle accident, and I was just banged up. And I called them, and I said, I was in this motorcycle accident. Oh, by the way, I'm gay. And one sister, oh my God, the motorcycle accident, how bad? And the other sister is, wait a minute, you're what? Does this mean you're not dating girls anymore? Yeah, that's what it means. So the biggest obstacle was me. I was my biggest obstacle because I didn't want to admit it to myself. I didn't want gay defining who I am. There's more to me than gay. I love theater. I'm a movie-holic. Nobody loves Disney more than I do. There's a lot more to me than just being gay. How I deal with the negativity of being gay, I'm a coward. I'll turn around and walk away. I don't want confrontation. I'm just not good at it. All of our neighbors know about Tim and myself. I mean, we're always seen together. Never any girls around. And one day, about 3 or 4 years ago, we're walking the dog, and there was a house with a huge picture window, and this little girl is in the window, and she looks out, she sees us, and goes. So I waved back, and we continued walking. All of a sudden, her father comes running out of the building, calling me the gay F word with another F word in front of that. Don't you ever effing wave at my daughter, you effing F word. You get it. And just berating us. And my husband is pulling me away, Brian, because I'll confront verbally. And it's like, I'm on a public sidewalk. I was just waving. What is your problem? And Tim whispered in my ear, this is Florida. He could be carrying a gun. Because of that, we go to Disney World all the time. We used to go to Disneyland all the time, and we'll see people, two girls holding hands, two guys holding hands, even kissing. Tim will not hold my hand in public. I could put my hand on his shoulder, cannot put my arm around him, and God forbid I ever kiss him in public. He just wouldn't allow it, and he wouldn't let me hold his hand in public unless we were at like a gay pride parade. Then it's okay. But it's the time we were raised. You got to remember the time that we grew up. It just wasn't accepted, and it's like ingrained up there. So when it comes to dealing with negativity, I just turn around and walk away. I did have a friend on Facebook that we did several shows together in California unfriend me on Facebook when the Supreme Court said, you are now full citizens, you can get married. And I was on Facebook just saying, I'm overjoyed, I'm getting married. Not only getting married at Disney World. And she's a born again and just laced into me, but she'll hate the sin, but love the sinner. It's like, don't even go down that road. I'm not a sinner. It is not sinful to love someone. So it's caused rifts that way. But when it comes to dealing with the negativity face to face, I'll just turn around and walk away. The advice I would give to someone struggling to come out, it's easier now than it was in my day. I mean, it's more accepted now. Will and Grace, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, marriage equality. It is, and a ton of YouTube videos. It is so much easier to come out if someone's considering coming out and they don't know what to do. First thing I would tell them is look it up, go to your local gay community center, or seek out a group that helped me when I was coming out to my family. And at that time, when I came out, it was just my two sisters. My parents were already gone at that point. Parents and Friends of Gays. Awesome, awesome, awesome organization. They're wonderful, and they helped me quite a lot. The first thing they told me is never come out to your family over the phone. Well, my family was in New York. I was living in California. I said, I'm not going to fly to New York just to say I'm gay. So they said in my case, but they told me what to say, what not to say. And one of the things they told me is that after you say those inevitable two words, I'm gay, stop talking. Let the silence stay there. Let them process it. Because they're going to go through all the grieving processes that people do. You're not the person they were expecting you to be. They have to accept you for who you are now. So it's much easier nowadays, but once you come out, it's so much easier. I've reached a point in my life where it's like, I don't talk about it. It's like, it's me. If you find out about it, I really don't care what you think. It's not going to change. If you don't want to be my friend, we were never friends to begin with. As for gay being a phase, I never heard of anything so ridiculous in my life. Truly. Hold on, my computer just went out. I never heard of anything so ridiculous. Pastel painting may be a phase. Riding a motorcycle may be a phase. But for something that you're born with and you have no control over, it's not a phase. It's not going to be. You can try to push it in the back and live in the back of the closet. That's not good for you. I don't recommend it. And no, as far as it being a phase, that's something for other people. You know who says it's a phase? People who are straight and don't agree with you being gay. And it's not your problem. It's their problem. And I didn't come out till late. I mean, late. In high school, I was struggling with it. There was a kid in high school that I would just, if he was breathing, it was like, I'm going to watch you breathe for a while. I was in lust with this kid. I don't know what happened to him ever since high school. In college, I dated girls because that was the expected thing to do, but it never went beyond a lip kiss, never a tongue kiss, not with a girl. It was slowly coming to my brain that you're gay. There's no way about it. And I couldn't change. I finally came out to me, like I said, when I was traveling around the country. So I must have been 23 at the time when I came out to me. When I met the man who is now my husband, I had to tell my family. It's like, I'm not going to call him my roommate. I'm not going to live like that. It's not worth it. When I came, any other questions, feel free to ask. Again,